is enticing. Alone in his studio, using only his mind and a pencil, Einstein made bizarre discoveries as intriguing to the public as the most talked about music and movies of the day.
They loved the mystery. Einstein himself said so. The fact that there are these wonderful words in the fourth dimension, bending of space, time warps, all that kind of thing. It's great. You know, light moves in ways you don't expect. These are kind of romantic ideas. These are, you know, mind-bending ideas, and people picked up on them in all kinds of ways. And it had this cool quality to it.
He could see in ways that no one else could. He put together elements of the universe that others had not imagined would fit together. The general theory of relativity is one of the greatest achievements of the human mind.
If you think about it, the entire modern age, the age of laser beams, telecommunications, satellites, that age was opened up by the work of Albert Einstein. For example, black holes and neutron stars and the Big Bang itself, you cannot describe them adequately without Einstein's theory of general relativity.
It is beautiful and simple and profound. And all the best theories of the universe are just that.
Einstein dies in 1955 at the age of 76. But more than a half a century later, the man and his theories continue to capture the popular imagination and to inspire.
Here was a man, because of the power of his intellect, the sheer power of his mind, was able to rise above poverty, rise above war and strife, to become one of the great figures in all of human history. And that was an inspiration, because you don't have to be born handsome, you don't have to be born with muscles, you don't have to be born that way. You can achieve it by the sheer power of intellect. And for me, that's always been a shining beacon.
A new breed of super machines is evolving. Bigger, faster, smarter. Built to tackle near impossible feats. Among them, a next-generation airship.
Okay, we're ready to start engines in the cockpit.
I love it. It's like driving a race car.
Will this experimental floating giant forever change air transportation?
The first time we've built a ship like this ever.
Or will it crash and burn?
Fire, fire.
Tail up, about 10.
We'll blow this $35 million beast apart to discover technological secrets that overcome the impossible. A revolutionary helium buoyancy system that can lift 9 SUVs. Engines with the combined power of a race car. Landing feet to touch down anywhere in the world. We'll reveal how this extraordinary airship evolved to rise above all other machines. Tustin Air Base, 40 miles southeast of downtown Los Angeles.
Go, it's okay, let it go.
Inside this former military hangar, engineers make adjustments to a prototype flying machine.
Okay, I'm ready. Sounds good, guys.
A revolutionary airship. Her design could usher in a new generation of cargo vehicles, carrying everything from food and military hardware to humanitarian aid and cars. For less money than any airplane in existence.
John, we're gonna go for another test. Looks good.
In 24 hours' time, she will make her first ever test flight.
3, 2, 1.
This is the daredevil pilot who will fly her.
I'm kind of a helium head, so to speak.
Corky Bellinger, one of around only 50 blimp pilots worldwide, He's clocked up more than 15,000 hours flight time in airships.
After flying for 40-plus years just in airships alone, this is the pinnacle of my career. I'm really looking forward to this and making it work. The future of lighter than air is resting on what we're doing here. In the next 20 years, I think that you're going to be able to look up and see an airship just as readily as you look up now and you see an airplane. I guess in a sense, when you get into something like this, you're laying your butt on the line. You don't know.
In less than 24 hours, Corky will test fly the prototype of what could become a viable cargo-carrying airship called the Aeroscraft. This next-generation vehicle is christened Dragon Dream.
She's absolutely beautiful. I'm really looking forward to taking her out and see what she'll do.
Corky's flown nothing like her before. Built from 10,000 components, her revolutionary buoyancy system is filled with $250,000 of helium. 3 300-horsepower engines thrust her through the sky, and 4 ingenious feet work like hovercrafts to glide across rough terrain. She's a brand new concept to ship any type of cargo cheaply across the globe.
To me, it's like Back to the Future. It's really modern spaceshipping looking, and yet you can go back over 100 years, and a lot of that technology is right here.
The prototype Dragon Dream weighs 18 tons and is 270 feet long. But if she passes tomorrow's test flight, a production line could start making airships over 3 times her size, 920 feet long, with lifting capabilities of 500 tons. They would be the largest aircraft ever made.
This valve is disconnected.
The responsibility for getting this unique airship ready for takeoff falls to one man, 32-year-old lead engineer Tim Kenny.
There's always a problem. Nothing is ever perfect, right?
He has never built anything like Dragon Dream before.
Before I came to Aeros, I was building large robotic machines that shrink wrap cases of soda. Now today we're building a 270-foot long airship. You know, that pressure can become, you know, extremely overwhelming, especially being, you know, kind of your first role.
The man who is applying the maximum pressure is Dragon Dream's inventor, company CEO Igor Pasternak. Born in the Soviet Union, he founded airship company Aeros 20 years ago. He's secured $35 million from NASA and the Department of Defense to turn his vision into reality. His reputation is riding on tomorrow's test flight.
It's hard to say what is your personal investment. It's everything. It's my life. It's literally my life. And how are you going to do tomorrow?
Oh, we'll be fine for tomorrow.
Airships were once seen as the transport solution of the future, until things went terribly wrong.
Is right for you.
At Farmers, we believe what you don't know can hurt you. Like, what if you didn't know to get coverage for uninsured drivers? Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Discover how past lives, dreams, and soul travel can help you step out of the crowd and master your spiritual destiny. By looking within, you can explore your dreams, past and present relationships, and gain valuable insights to improve the quality of your life every day. If you would like to discover spiritual truth through past lives, dreams, and soul travel, then call 1-888-LOVE-GOD for your free Spiritual Experiences Guidebook from Eckankar, 1-888-LOVE-GOD.
I won this HD TV for less than $50 on Quibbits.
I won my iPad for $87.13.
These are real customers who got unbeatable deals on Quibbits.com.
I won this Canon DSLR camera for just $21.
Save up to 90% on brand new products like iPads, HD TVs, and appliances.
The first time I tried Quibbits, I was skeptical, but I won the first item I bid on.
That's QUIBIDS.com. Visit Quibbits.com now.
The Egyptians thought the giant beetle god, Khepri, moved the sun across the sky.
Are these hieroglyphics? The sun was Ra's flying machine, and Khepri was the pilot. Evidence of ancient visitors. One has to wonder whether or not these beings actually existed. An all-new episode of Ancient Aliens, Friday at 9 on H2.
At Tustin Air Base, California, the revolutionary Dragon Dream airship is just 30 minutes away from her first ever test flight.
The main PC on, envelope monitoring system is on.
Pilots Corky and Igor perform final flight checks.
PDF flight calibration tab. Okay, that's over here. You ready to start? I'm gonna be. Let's do it.
Lead engineer Tim briefs his team.
Today's the big day of all of our hard work. We're gonna go out there and see this aircraft really go forward and do some flights. Watch your feet, watch for holes. It's dirty, it's dusty out there. Anybody have any questions?
This is the plan. Taxi Dragon Dream out the hangar. Attempt takeoff for the very first time. Then fly across the airfield, testing the airship's systems under real flight conditions.
We don't want to hit anything, so we need to be very careful of what's going on the ropes, keeping up with your crew chief and stuff like that.
The flight's main objective is to trial her experimental buoyancy system. It's called COSH, standing for Control of Static Heaviness.
The COSH system of this aircraft is revolutionary. There's not an aircraft in the world that has this system on board.
Traditional airships need ballast to stay on the ground when unloading heavy cargo. Dragon Dream is different. She controls her own heaviness by adjusting the amount of air and helium inside the airship.
What we're doing here is we're making a simulation for this aircraft, proving that that COSH system works on an open air flight. What we're doing is we're using a large box here. We're going to stick that in the cockpit of this aircraft with a simulated payload, and that we're using leaded bags here. And then we'll take it for a flight, then we'll remove it, and the vehicle will stay stationary on the ground after the flight. Don't put them all on that end, guys.
To prove Dragon Dream works as a cargo airship, the COSH system must make her lighter for takeoff and then heavier when unloading the box on the ground.
Don't make me do all the work, guys. Come on.
If the airship rises during the unload, Dragon Dream fails the test, and $35 million of investment goes down the drain.
I don't want it to fly away, but you know, we've done all the tests inside the hangar and simulated that, so we should go outside and everything should be okay.
Okay, guys, I'd like to do a flight control check.
10 minutes to takeoff.
The bottom right is 1.8, now it's adjusting up.
Corky and Igor perform final pre-flight checks.
Okay, we got 12 gallons, 12 gallons, 12 gallons. So we got fuel in all the tanks. Okay, we're good to go, dude. Okay.
There's no turning back now.
All right, we're moving.
The future of aviation history could be transformed if Dragon Dream and her pilots perform flawlessly. Just one hitch, and the test flight could end in catastrophe.
Nice work, Corky. Roger that.
5 minutes to take off. It's time to test if the COSH system gets the airship airborne.
Airborne slowly, okay? Remember your stage. Heavy into the slope.
Inside are 9 massive bags made from a top-secret fabric. They hold thousands of cubic feet of pressurized helium, which they can shift in and out of her shell. At the rear, sit vital air ballast bags that can change the airship's buoyancy. Their design evolved from marine life. Fish control their buoyancy through a unique organ, the swim bladder. As they move up and down in the water, they shift gas from the bloodstream in and out of the bladder to keep their buoyancy perfectly balanced. Dragon Dream supersizes this idea. Each of her 4 ballast bags holds 900 pounds of air to weigh the ship down and keep her on the ground. When Corky jettisons air from the bags and feeds more helium into the shell, the airship should become lighter than air and take off. Getting the Kosh system to this make-or-break stage was a big challenge. Two months ago, the team installed it inside the hangar.
So now you can see that we're pumping in the helium here and it's starting to inflate. It probably takes about 30 minutes total.
They threaded each of the 9 pressurized helium tanks, made from a top-secret fabric, through a small gap in the airship's frame.
We've removed one of the structural components and we'll be installing in this location.
All right, we're gonna lift. You guys are gonna push. You ready? Okay, watch the harness.
We don't want this thing rubbing on any of our sharp edges on the structure.
A rip in one tank could cause the airship to fail mid-air, possibly resulting in a deadly crash.
There's so many cables in this structure that makes it so difficult for us to get in there and attach these harnesses to those nodes. It might not be my life depending on it, but somebody else is going to be in this aircraft flying, and it's very important everything gets covered and addressed the way it should.
Today, the Kosh system is ready to switch on.
There we go. Yeah.
But Tustin Air Base is a challenging location to trial this unproven technology.
There's only so much he can do under this short little area. Like if we were out in the desert and built this aircraft, he'd have lots of room.
The final approach of California's John Wayne Airport passes close to the test flight area. Release helium too fast, and the airship could shoot up into busy airspace.
They can release full course. Go ahead, release it.
An uncontrolled takeoff could be disastrous. Everything now depends on 9 pairs of critical valves attached to the helium tanks inside the airship. Small pneumatic switches open and close the valve's flaps to control the flow of gas into her shell. But release too much helium, and Dragon Dream could ascend too quickly and fly into the path of a landing airplane. One miscalculation now could lead to a catastrophic collision with local air traffic.
Okay, here we go, guys.
The lives of the pilots and Dragon Dream's future now hang in the balance.
Cover, cover, cover. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
At Edmunds.com, we're car people, driven to make car buying easy. I know, you're probably looking at me thinking, that's weird. Who's ever heard of car buying being easy, right? Well, with new Edmunds Price Promise, it is. Just compare cars from local Price Promise dealers and get an upfront price that's locked in. Car buying with no haggling and no stress? You don't see that every day.
Edmunds.com.
Get Edmunds Price Promise today.
Some people like to pretend a flood could never happen to them, and that their homeowner's insurance protects them. It doesn't. Stop pretending. Only flood insurance covers floods. Visit floodsmart.gov/pretend to learn your risk.
Pilots Corky and Igor are taking off in the pioneering Dragon Dream airship. If she successfully completes her first ever test flight, she could revolutionize the $5 trillion air cargo industry.
Okay, we're going to regulate just to stabilize here.
To leave the ground, her unique helium tanks must release the right amount of gas, or the $35 million machine could fly into the path of landing airplanes.
Okay, here we go, guys. Easy. Damn good easy. That's it, it's working. It's working, you can hear it. It's very good. Come on, baby, come on, baby. That's okay, let's leave it right there. You're off the ground. How's that, Igor? Beautiful. They got you doing so good.
It's a perfect takeoff.
Oh, yeah, Igor, we go on vacation now, buddy. Let's go fly.
Now Corky and Igor must prove Dragon Dream can fly the full quarter-mile length of the test area.
Vector's coming up.
The airship measures 270 feet long and weighs 18 tons. She needs powerful engines to thrust her forward, but conventional engines can create vibrations that could wreck the airship's frame.
Roger that. If everybody's ready, here we go.
So the team fitted this airship with 3 ingenious engines that should smooth out the ride. Their 6 cylinders are laid out to eliminate destructive vibrations. An idea that began in car racing. Early race cars had a big problem. In long races, their engines shook themselves apart. Engineers discovered horizontal pistons moving in opposite directions evened out the forces inside the engine. This reduced the engine's vibrations and powered the race car to victory. Dragon Dream takes this technology to the next level. Her 6 cylinders, arranged in opposing pairs, produce 300 horsepower. Their smooth running should reduce the stress on the airship's structure and keep Dragon Dream powering forwards through the air.
Come forward, Igor. Enjoy the moment, Igor. Enjoy this moment.
But any engine can go wrong. As the team discovered 4 weeks before the test flight.
Adam, easy. You got slow speed? Everybody is ready.
When they performed a routine trial in the hangar.
Servo right engine.
Ryan, be very ready.
Disaster struck.
fire, fire. Come on. Good. You guys want to just shut down for a minute, the left engine, and hover, and let's get up there and really check it out.
Fuel flooded the engine and a backfire ignited.
If you're airborne and you get an engine fire, that's a critical thing. I don't want anything to catch on fire other than my barbecue ever. When somebody says fire, it's usually something happening that you don't want to happen.
A repeat of the hangar fire during today's test flight will be catastrophic. Dragon Dream's been airborne for 20 minutes. As Corky ramps up the RPM, there's no sign of trouble. He can now concentrate on the flight's next critical test. Steering Dragon Dream using the airship's rudder-like flaps called control surfaces.
Right now, he's just playing with the functionality of the control surface and how it's changing the pitch of the vehicle. That's why it's kind of like all over the place right now, because he's just moving the control surface to see what they do at low speed.
Corky's commands must reach the control surfaces as fast as possible. They race from his joystick through the ship's nervous system. 820 feet of fiber optic cable. Traveling at over 120,000 miles per second, they reach 10 pneumatic pistons that move the control surfaces. It's a system that should give Corky super fast handling.
The aircraft is responding to his inputs, staying on position. I mean, it looks great. I'm really happy with what's going on so far.
Dragon Dream's control surfaces keep her straight and level. But up ahead lies the next big test. Maneuvering over a 100-foot gap in a tall fence.
This wind is all over the place right now. The wind's shifting on us now, Igor. Yeah, I can feel it. It's really squirreling.
Mother Nature is pushing the airship off course.
We're dealing with wind vectors coming around that hangar, all of these buildings, so the wind changes quite a bit on us.
The danger level is rising. There's a real risk Dragon Dream could collide with the fence.
That wind's going the wrong direction now, buddy.
And her test flight end in disaster.
Be able to help. Every day, small business owners are using tools like email and social media marketing from Constant Contact to grow their business. They're getting customers coming back, fans following their business online, and new customers through the door. See how Constant Contact's products and people can help you grow your business. Start your free trial at ConstantContact.com.
With Vonage, you can talk all you want from your home phone and your mobile phone, so calling from anywhere is just like calling from home.
So calling on the go costs the same as calling from my house?
One low monthly rate from anywhere.
You get unlimited calling?
Yes, in the U.S. to Mexico, India, and more.
I'm going to call my grandkids.
Great idea, Dada. Go to Vonage.com and get one calling plan for both of your phones.
This is crazy!
Crazy generous!
At Tustin Air Base, California, $35 million airship Dragon Dream is half an hour into her first ever test flight. If successful, this prototype could spawn a new generation of airships that promises to reshape the $5 trillion air cargo industry.
We're gonna go, yep, something like that.
Pilots Corky and Igor must now prove Dragon Dream's untested steering system can maneuver her over a 100-foot gap in a fence up ahead. Dragon Dream's designers have equipped the rear of the airship with a propeller framed by two retractable shrouds. The design should steer the airship from the back. It's an ingenious idea that evolved from rockets. Pioneering rocket engineers faced a major problem. Too many of their designs lost control during the slow takeoff. In the late 1940s, they tried something new, installing a movable nozzle to direct thrust and a gyroscope in the rocket's nose. If the gyro sensed the rocket leaning one way, it positioned the nozzle the other way to shift the engine's thrust and push the rocket back on course. Dragon Dream uses this rocket steering concept in a new way. Corky can move the airship's shrouds to redirect the thrust from side to side, and rotate them to nudge the tail up or down. He should be able to turn the airship on a dime.
All right, everybody, good to go.
Lead engineer Tim Kenny is worried about how the steering system will work under flight conditions.
This is all new. I mean, every time we do something with it, it's new, and we're learning things as it goes. You know, it's the first time we've built a ship like this ever.
The only chance the teams had to trial the experimental steering system was inside the hangar, just a month before the test flight.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roger, the old man. Can you copy?
I got you, you young springer. Okay, we're gonna pitch down, and we're gonna pitch up. Is that correct?
You're gonna pitch up, then you're gonna pitch down.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Okay, starting aft engine.
PM right now, is that?
The system took 6 months and $30,000 to build.
Okay, well, the oil temperature's good enough to begin this little thing we got going here.
Copy that. Correct.
I'm showing full rotation and full extension.
Looks good back here.
Okay.
All right, Corky, let's go ahead and go back pitch down.
Executing pitch down. I'm showing full extension. I'm showing full retraction.
Hangar tests were a success, but no one knows how the system will work during today's test flight. As Dragon Dream approaches the fence,
If I go from here, I don't have to drag the ropes over the fence. Let me know when everybody's in position.
We got some safety guys on the lines just in case it does something we don't want it to. So what we're gonna do is kind of let the lines completely slack. We'll still have guys close by, needed if we want to, you know.
this is the most dangerous stage of the test flight so far. Innovative steering systems can fail with disastrous results. Virginia, 1922. U.S. Army airship Roma suffered a malfunction with its steering mechanism. The airship drifted towards the ground. It hit high-voltage power lines and exploded. 34 passengers and crew died instantly.
Coming forward, Igor.
On their approach to the fence, Corky and Igor attempt a gentle turn.
I'm starting to drift a little bit. The wind's shifting on us now, Igor.
Tim watches nervously as the airship changes position.
The wind just shifted 90 degrees on us. We're not going to be able to go over that fence, Igor, with that wind.
Strong gusts suddenly push the airship offline.
Careful, guys, we're drifting hard.
Overpowering the experimental steering system.
Aft cushions are coming down. Aft cushions are not clear yet. You mean they're going to hit the fence, you mean? Clear of the fence.
And putting Dragon Dream on a collision course with the fence.
Tail up.
Okay, ladies. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you. I got this.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this.
It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Hit an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-905-6500 now.
Here we go! Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a drip.
Okay.
Now that's a leak.
That is a leak!
And if you don't have Allstate renter's insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-905-6500 now. Plus, drivers who switched saved an average of $498 a year.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get...
At Tustin Air Base, California, the revolutionary Dragon Dream airship is in trouble.
Careful, guys, we're drifting hard.
Strong winds are pushing her straight towards a tall fence.
Aft cushions are coming down. Aft cushions are not clear yet. You mean they're going to hit the fence, you mean? Clear of the fence. Corky up a little bit. Tail up. About to hit the fence.
Pilots Corky and Igor face a make or break decision. Crash land the $35 million airship or power over the 7-foot-tall fence and set down on the other side.
I don't have a choice, guys. I got no choice.
The airship scrapes over the fence with just feet to spare.
Okay, we're clear of all obstacles, is that correct? Correct.
Touchdown. It's a relief for lead engineer Tim Kenny.
Oh, let's just go 6 feet off the fence. A couple times right there, it was pretty... Whew.
It's time for the next critical test. The airship must taxi back to the hangar to prove it can operate in areas with rough landing zones.
I'm gonna taxi forward.
Corky and Igor are relying on the airship's unique feet for a smooth ride. Each one is 26 feet long, almost the length of 2 SUVs. They're designed to reduce friction between the airship and the ground by floating on a cushion of air. They owe their origins to a groundbreaking invention from the 1950s. A propeller, an engine, and a boat with rubber wrapped around it. The propeller pushed air down into the rubber skirting. It was the world's first commercial hovercraft and inspired the Dragon Dream's feet. The fans in each foot spin at 3,400 RPM. They push air into a soft plastic skirt, forming a thin cushion of air directly under the airship. These mini hovercrafts should allow Dragon Dream to glide across the roughest terrain.
Let's see how well these cushions work. All right, Igor, you want to have some fun? Here we go. We're going to go forward now. We got some room. Go.
close do you want to get to the hangar, guys? Yeah, 50 feet. I love it. It's like driving a race car.
The airship skims across the uneven terrain and comes to a halt outside the hangar.
We'll stop and take the box out.
Only the final and most important challenge remains: unloading the 500-pound cargo crate. To prove she's a viable cargo transporter, her buoyancy system must keep her grounded during the unload. If she floats up into the air, she'll fail the test and put the ground crew in danger. Like U.S. Navy airship USS Akron did in 1932. Sailors secured her as she came in to land. Warmed by the sun, the airship's helium became more buoyant. Akron began to ascend out of control. 3 sailors failed to let go of the landing rope and were pulled into the air as the airship rose. 2 plunged to their deaths. The other was saved in a daring mid-air rescue. If Dragon Dream's revolutionary buoyancy system fails today, some of the ground crew could be in danger of a similar fate.
Okay, go ahead.
This is how it should work. Compressors inside the airship should suck helium from its shell into 9 high-pressure tanks. At the same time, fans help channel hundreds of pounds of air into ballast bags. This should make the airship heavy enough to stay grounded when the crew unload the cargo crate.
Make sure all NHPs are enabled.
Pass this test, and Dragon Dream has a future as a heavy cargo transporter.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Any malfunctions, and the airship will lift off the ground, possibly hauling the ground crew into the air. The box is out. Kosh keeps the airship rock solid on the ground.
Absolutely perfect. Yeah, give me 5.
The mission is a success.
Okay, let's put it in the barn.
All servo off. Off again. Okay. Down.
Absolutely fantastic. That was great. It was absolutely great. In the cockpit, I had no glitches at all. Everything, no red lights. Everything was green. It was perfect.
Cool. Done.
The test flight over, lead engineer Tim Kenny sets his sights on the next challenge.
Could we go higher? Absolutely. Can we go farther? Absolutely. I want to keep flying and keep going and keep going, you know? I want to see it fly over people's homes and actually, you know, people see it for real.
The test flight is a milestone in aviation history. Production could now start on larger versions of Dragon Dream that will carry everything from humanitarian aid to military equipment all over the world.
Everything today was a success. It really, really was. I can't begin to tell you how happy I am. I'm thrilled. I'm going to go home for a couple of weeks, play a little golf, get on the boat, and just kind of think about, you know, relax a little bit, and then after a couple of weeks, come back and get into it again. You can't put a fork in me just yet.
Dragon Dream could be the revolutionary cargo airship of the 21st century. It's thanks to steering inspired by rockets, feet that work like hovercraft, super reliable 300 horsepower engines, a revolutionary buoyancy system, and a light, tough carbon fiber skeleton that this airship has evolved to rise above all other machines.
They are technological wonders that have raced their way to the top of the acceleration curve, breaking records and leaving the competition in the dust. They are the swiftest of the swift. Now, the world's fastest on Modern Marvels. On this muggy day in Nardo, Italy, a challenger from rural Sweden is preparing to try to break the record of world's fastest production car. Set by the McLaren F1, this record has defied all takers for 7 years and stands at a blistering 240.3 miles per hour. A humid day and a tightly ovaled track seem to portend another failure.
Nardo is a circular track, so it kind of scrubs away a lot of speed. You're constantly on a turn.
But the Challenger is no ordinary car. This is the CCR from the innovative Koenigsegg Motor Company. It quickly accelerates past 100 miles per hour, and then 150. By the time the CCR is in 6th gear, it's well over 200 miles per hour, rapidly closing in on the old record. The man behind the new Challenger, Christian von Koenigsegg, had an infatuation with fast cars that began in his youth.
When I was 5 years old, I saw a Norwegian puppet movie about a bicycle repairman who built himself a race car, and I got really excited by it. So I said to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to build my own car.
That dream led Christian to start the Koenigsegg Automotive Company in 1995. Soon thereafter, he designed the CCR.
I basically started from a blank sheet of paper, and I had some ideas of what my car would be like. It was going to be a nimble, lightweight, high-performance sports car with a detachable hardtop that actually gave the convertible feeling when you take it off. CCR stands for Competition Coupe Radical. The Koenigsegg CCR is the lightest, most powerful, fastest supercar ever built. It's basically a race car for the road, but it has features that you expect from a road car, such as air conditioning, stereo, power windows, power steering, etc. It's got racing car performance, but it's still very streetable and drivable, and you can cruise around in it. Our production facility used to be a fighter jet squadron. Now we build the fastest car in the world in here.
Under that car's sleek hood is an engine that holds a world's record for sheer power.
This is the engine for the CCR. It's the most powerful production engine in the world with 806 horsepower. The CCR features